That was beautiful. Thank you, gentlemen. Please remain standing and while the performers perform our national anthem, followed by our alma mater. Ms. Palumbo. Guys, welcome. Class of 2020. Please take a look up there. That's where the camera is. We're going to break with tradition here. Wave to your families. Okay, you can be seated. Again, thanks to Ms. Palumbo and her choir for that performance. Mr. Paterno and our volunteer performers here today, Mr. Sullivan, and Mr. Whitaker, sort of a law firm of performers there. So they took the time to come here, and we're very grateful for that. And before I get started, again, I'd like to thank our Wayne Hills family. Really, this day, you really can't understand it unless you were here when the halls were closed and no one was in the building, and we started from seemingly like we would never have this day to where we are today. There's a lot of people behind this, and it's certainly not on me. So I'd like to, in particular, thank the custodians, our secretarial staff, because they really did pitch in for this, and I want to give them a round of applause for getting all this done. They do so much for our school, and they carried you for the 4 years and unjammed your lockers and found missing things and called home when you weren't feeling well and got you what you needed to get done. So thank you. So I'm very happy to be here, like I said, and I just want to give a few thank yous. Dr. Toback is here today. I thank him for coming. I'd like to thank, yes, thank you. Yeah, great applause. Our Director of Secondary Education, Ms. Weir, who is here and is very bashful and not on camera. This is her last graduation here. She bled Hills Maroon for many years, and we're going to miss her, and I learned quite a great bit about being a principal and how to be truly a compassionate principal. So, Ms. Weir, I'd like to thank you for that. Okay, also in attendance here, we have Ms. Schur, one of our Board of Education members. Let's give her a round of applause. And of course, you, the class of 2020. Thank you. It's always so much different at night. Okay. So it is as your principal, it's an honor for me tonight to share in your pride and accomplishments this morning. So parents, as your children's first role models, I want to recognize your efforts and support for our seniors. So virtually, I'd like to give you a congratulations. And I'd also like to take a moment to recognize our senior advisors, Ms. Perez and Ms. Kobolinski, who have carried you for the 4 years and been committed to the class of 2020, so thank you. Of course, my excellent dream team, leadership team here of Mr. Cavens, Mr. DeLolo, Mr. Foglio, Mr. Glaz, Ms. Stoffy, and Ms. Ventimiglia. Again, carried us all year. Thank you. And again, so normally what I would do in this part would be to honor those who are retiring. And luckily this year, we do not have anybody retiring on the staff this year. Instead, I would like to offer my condolences to all of you who may have lost a friend, a family member, or someone close to you in the last few months. As you may or may not know, the Wayne School District lost a very important member of our staff, and that was our Director of Nursing, Ms. Suzanne Karansky. When you get your certificates today, notice that they are wrapped in purple. That was indeed her favorite color. And she was an incredible advocate for all of you, a champion for nursing, and again, a lover of all things purple. So I'm very sorry for her and her family and all of you that have suffered a loss and are unable to mourn properly. And again, my prayers go out to all of you. Now, again, let me start my speech by speaking directly to all of you. I have not seen you for quite a while here. We're talking March. So we've certainly experienced our own hardships during the last several months. And again, rather than focusing my speech on those struggles, I would like to focus instead on how others have spoken about strife. So one of the things that I took away was the patience, the persistence, the commitment to keep striving and moving forward, and I hope the speech kind of speaks to that as well. Dr. King said that humans have to go through the darkness in order to see the beauty in life, like the stars in the night sky. Only when it is dark enough can you see the stars. When Lou Gehrig of the New York Yankees retired from baseball in 1939 due to ALS, which became known forever after that as Lou Gehrig's disease, his speech did not speak of loss. It did not speak of sorrow. It was a positive speech, and he began with, "I consider myself the luckiest man on the face of the earth." He spoke of blessings, the blessings from his teammates, from his organization. He pointed out his mother-in-law and the support she had given, and his wife. And then he concluded his speech, "I may have been given a bad break, but I've got an awful lot to live for." Someone who had that kind of hardship took the moment to say, "I am going to look at the positive." He saw the stars in the darkness, which you need to do as well. A year after discovering he had cancer, Steve Jobs, the founder of Apple, gave this advice in a speech: "Your time is limited, so don't waste it living someone else's life. Don't be trapped by dogma, which is living with the results of other people's thinking. Don't let the noise of others' opinions drown out your inner voice, heart, and intuition. They somehow already know what you truly want to become. Everything else is secondary. Stay hungry, stay foolish." He saw the stars in his darkness. And being positive during difficult times has not been easy. We have all struggled with doubt, stress, anxiety, and fear, amplified by factors of 10 or even 100. The unknown has crippled some of us even. How do we chase those thoughts away? How do we begin again? How do we move forward? Around Mother's Day, which seems so long ago, a popular TV personality shared how we need to adjust our thinking. We cannot go back to our negative ways of thinking, but rather look around and say, look at all of us. We are here today. We are here for this graduation. Okay? We need to go through new doors. We need to push ourselves and challenge ourselves and move our thinking away from, wow, what did we miss out on, but what did we gain? Okay? And as a community, Wayne came together and grew as well. We applied the abstract statement of loving thy neighbor as thyself and made it an actual reality. And that was through the Wayne United, which took together all the different giving communities in the community, gathered them together, focused their fundraising and their donations for the people of Wayne. So this coalition of people helping others through the darkness. And as we continue our journey through our valley of uncertainty of constant change, there's no time to look back to ponder what if, or to spin about what we may have lost. There's only a time to ponder what will be. We will overcome this crisis. You will find success at what you do. You will make treasured memories, and we will fulfill dreams and promises, and we will all meet again. Send that darkness that we've all been under away with empathy, patience, and love. Watch the stars and from them learn, said Albert Einstein. Thank you so much. Again, we are very lucky today to have 3 student speakers representing your class. And again, each of these speakers has a different, unique take on Wayne Hills. Our student welcome today is given by the president of the senior class. She's your NHS credit officer. She has been a varsity swim member for 4 years, a track team member, a Relay for Life captain for 2 years, and was a valued member of the Friendship Circle. She will be attending the University of Pittsburgh and will major in health information management. Here is your class president, Alana Margolin.
Good morning and welcome faculty, administration, board members, and whoever may be watching from home, but most importantly, the class of 2020. What a long, strange journey it has been, but we made it. We finally made it to our rightfully deserved graduation ceremony. I can say with confidence that we are the most unique senior class to ever go through Hills. For starters, I don't think any other senior class can say that LeBron James, Pitbull, and Beyonce gave commencement speeches to their senior class. While the world we lived in is plagued with dangers, including coronavirus, violence, and uncertainty, despite it all, in a few moments, we will manage to graduate again. Although we did miss out on our senior spring, tough situations build strong character and people. We cannot forget about the memories we made together throughout our 4 years. Starting as scared freshmen, we ate in the freshman caf, where it seemed like no matter how high you lifted your phone up, you could never get service. We were freshman fire, not freshman fire, and our posters may or may have not fallen down on top of us during the spirit rally. We participated in freshman fitness, or some of us did, and we wore a Hills jersey for the first time, unaware of what the impact the sport would have on us. Sophomore year, we learned about the rules of the road in driver's ed, but based on the amount of after-school games of bumper cars in the lot, I'm sure some of us slept through that class. We dressed up like flappers and partied in our English classes, but most importantly, we were just thankful we weren't freshmen. Then we were juniors, the year we got our licenses, the year we picked out outfits to impress at formal and spent hours dancing to some robotic music, the year we started searching for a college that we could hope to call our home. We blinked, and it was our first day of high school. We started by renaming the student section to Riot. We danced together at the senior breakfast and finally won a spirit rally. We dressed up for a fashion show and got to strut the runway. Then, all of a sudden, in the middle of March, little did we know, it was our last day of high school. But it is important that we do not define our high school experience by a canceled senior spring. We have made amazing memories throughout the past 4 years, and to forget about them would be a wasted tribute to our years as patriots. The class of 2020 knows what it means to be a patriot. We have many students going to their dream schools and athletes continuing their careers at impressive universities. We should always be proud to be patriots and never forget our roots. None of this would be possible without many people who have supported us. To all our teachers, administration, and board members, thank you for being here today. This wouldn't be possible without you. A big thank you to Mr. Hookstrait for all the behind-the-scenes work he has done. And finally, thank you to the class of 2020. for making amazing memories that we will never forget. We have truly made our mark on Wayne Hills. For those who know me well, I would never make a speech without quoting The Office. So, as Andy Bernard once said, I wish there was a way to know we were in the good old days before we actually left them. Well, we may be leaving the good old days of Wayne Hills, but this is just the beginning to all of our journeys. Standing on this stage one last time, I'm not sure I'm qualified to give you any piece of advice, but as cliche as it might sound, this year has definitely taught us that it's no cliche to live life to the fullest. Live life like it's your last day of senior year, because honestly, you don't know when that could be. Thank you.
I'll wait for the camera. And apparently the last day of your school year is in July, actually, and hopefully this is the last graduation we have in the month of July. So I just wanted to put that out there to the rain gods or whatever else is listening. The salutatorian of the class of 2020 is a well-rounded scholar. During her 4 years, she was a member of the fencing team, placing 11th in the state individual championships, and first team All-League, co-captain of the Quiz Bowl team, treasurer of the Italian Honor Society, a member of NHS, Mu Alpha Theta Math Honor Society, speaks 4 languages, achieved a perfect score on a Russian proficiency exam at NYU, and was an AP scholar with distinction. She will be attending Duke University in the fall, and the salutatorian address this evening is given by Ms. Jenna Boguslavsky.
Good morning and welcome back, everyone. After the long months we've spent apart, strictly observing CDC guidelines, of course, it's nice to see all of you again, though the long hair and masks do make you pretty hard to recognize. I would like to thank Mr. Ruick, the Board of Education, and all of the administrators who made this event possible. I would also like to thank our teachers, counselors, and most of all, our parents. Though they could not join us here today, many of us would not be here without their help. And let's be real, we didn't make the last 18 years. It's so weird with the echo, I'm sorry. We didn't make the last 18 years easy. Oh my God. Finally, I would like to welcome the class of 22. Oh my God, I'm like losing the ability to speak. I'm sorry, everyone. Finally, I would like to welcome all of you, the class of 2020. After 4 long years of last-minute essay and tear-stained math homework, in the face of a global pandemic and with a thunderstorm on the way, graduation could not come soon enough. We finally made it, sitting here together on our football field in our caps and gowns. For someone who always has something to say, I had a hard time writing this speech, especially the second time around, and apparently I'm having an even harder time saying it out loud. In fact, most of my content is recycled, so I won't get too offended if you tune me out. Graduation is a pivotal moment in your life. It's our final goodbye to high school, or at least I hope it is this time. A day to commemorate the end of an era and celebrate a new beginning. So while you're eating barbecue and signing yearbooks, take some time to reflect on the last 4 years. You'll never forget that time you drank too much lemonade at a sleepover and played it off as food poisoning. Sorry, Mom. The memories you made will always be with you, and the friends you've made will still be here when you begrudgingly return for university's extra long winter break. But it's time to move on. You have your whole life ahead of you, to learn from your mistakes and still make a million more. This is your chance to reinvent yourself, to learn from your past and decide going forward who you want to be. It will be tempting to lay in bed all day when no one is tracking your absences. Trust me, senioritis doesn't disappear when the title of senior does. But these next 4 years will determine the course of your future, which is hopefully very bright. I don't know what your high school experience was like, but that's all in the past. What's important now isn't who you were, it's who you work to become. It's the courses and internships you take, the friends you make, and whether you can drink your coffee black, no sugar. You can't live your life taking things for granted, expecting the pieces to fall into place without putting in the work yourself. Your future is in your well-sanitized hands. Make the most of it.
Excellent, excellent. Our valedictorian address this evening, I left it in this morning, will be given by an extraordinary individual. He has been a member of the baseball team, the president of NHS, a student ambassador, a camp counselor for the WEF, and the Audubon Society's Nature Sanctuary. He's a member of the Italian Honor Society and Mu Alpha Theta Math Honor Society. He's an AP Scholar with Distinction and a National Merit Commended Student. He will be attending Binghamton University in the fall in its University Scholars Program, as well as its first-year Research Immersion Program. It is my honor to introduce to you your valedictorian, Mr. Justin Reicher.
All right, no podium to hide behind this time. Good morning, and congratulations to the class of 2020. I'm so glad we have this opportunity to be here together as a class. I'd like to thank the students and staff of Wayne Hills for making these past 4 years an incredible experience for me. I'd also like to ask the class of 2020 to join me in a round of applause for our families watching from home. We're so grateful for all your support, not just during these past few months, but for our entire lives. Today, we celebrate our successes, friendships, and memories of high school, as we look ahead at a future full of uncertainty. I've heard that word, uncertainty, a lot of times to describe what lies ahead. Even though we've had twice the amount of graduations as your typical class does, we're not so unique. I think it's important to remember that being unsure of tomorrow is not exclusive to the class of 2020. No class, even the class of 2020, can have perfect vision of the future. The class of 2019 and 2018, and even 1966, the first graduating class of Wayne Hills, felt a certain amount of uncertainty when they graduated from high school. While the unknown is scary, anything really worthwhile is going to scare and challenge you a little. Learn to embrace this fear and convert it into excitement for what is to come. The class of 2020 is not the class of uncertainty. We're the class of strength. We are prepared to enter a world where we know that failure and disappointment are just parts of the journey to success. The obstacles along the way make the results of hard work much more satisfying. However, we'll learn that our happiness is not based off our salary or anything you can put on a resume. We'll learn that working on our well-being is sometimes more important than actual work. Treasure the time that you can allocate to your hobbies or spend with your friends and family. As we mature, we'll learn that our relationships are the most important aspects of our lives. As we mature, we'll understand that we can make friends with those who have a different worldview, as long as you're not a Cowboys or Red Sox fan. Our own opinions about the world will even evolve as we grow older. But the important thing is that you have opinions and respectfully express them. History tends to forget those who don't use their voice. Have conviction, but be open-minded. As a leader, have kindness and empathy. Never accept the status quo because it's convenient. You'll have to distinguish between what is easy and what is right. In a world as divided as the one that lies before us, those who have the ability to bring people together are the ones who will truly make a difference. With the task of rebuilding our country lying ahead of us, I challenge you all not to wish for a return to normalcy. Instead, fight for a return to a better tomorrow. Get ready to build a new world of freedom, equality, justice, and peace for all. I hope everyone stays safe and enjoys their summer. Thank you, and congratulations to the class of 2020.
Thank you, sir. Powerful words from you today. The Wayne Hills administration team believes strongly that teachers have a lasting and profound effect on their students. The senior class has chosen this faculty member to address them in a final farewell, and this faculty member has taught at Wayne Hills for 27 years. His passion for writing, philosophy, and role-playing games is legendary. He is a super English teacher. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Scott Summers.
Driving down here today, I was thinking about how, despite the craziness of this year, how positive it was for me. I reached a milestone. About 30 years ago, I was Mateo's father's English teacher. And Isaiah, I don't know where you are, I believe, there he is, I believe we determined that I was also your mother's English teacher. So that's kind of a big thing for a teacher. Second milestone is that this class elected me and Mr. Palillo to be the teacher dad for the class of 2020. And I was elected to do the speech, and I'm the only one that's ever given the speech that's gotten to do it twice. So here I am. I won't take too much of your time. I want to talk to you today about two very important people to me, my dogs. About 7 years ago, about a year after one dog died, my wife and I decided to adopt a new dog. And one of the reasons why we always have a dog is up in Sussex County, it's almost a daily occurrence to see a bear. And if you have a bear in the yard, if you have a dog in the yard, the bears usually stay away. So we chose a German Shepherd. Big dog, noble looking, elegant when it walked, and we brought that dog home. And the first time I was in the yard and a bear walked in, I was quite pleased because I knew I was safe. But as I looked around for my German Shepherd Lily, she was gone. She had run to the other side of the house and left me there with the bear. So I started waving my arms and clapping my hands, and eventually it ran away. And we've had that dog for the past 8 years, so she's an older shepherd now. For Father's Day, my family determined to get me another dog for Father's Day, which basically means my wife gave me permission to get one. And we adopted a pit bull. And it's not as elegant as a German Shepherd. It's not as noble, but there's a power to that dog. We named her Penny. Soon after we got her, sure enough, a bear came into the yard. Penny didn't run away. Penny stood in the gap between me and the bear, growled, right, and defended me. I had only known her a week or two, but already she was looking out for me. And that really touched me. And I think we could learn a lesson from Penny, to stand in the gap for each other. It's a crazy time right now. And I think if we're just able to show each other a little bit of kindness, that could change a lot. Now, I'm not advocating any of you, unless you're with me, to save someone from a bear. What I would like you to do and encourage you to do is just do simple acts of kindness each day. Someone drops their keys, pick them up for them. Say hello. Right? If you're in a Starbucks and it's crowded, give someone your chair. Those little acts, I think, can change the world. Now, it's funny, that time that the bear came into my yard and Penny, my pit bull, was there, so was my German Shepherd. Now, initially, the Shepherd ran away. But, and this is a true story, Penny got in front of me and the Shepherd came back and stood next to Penny in the gap for me. And I take that is that if you do kindness and I am kind, that can spread. Other people will follow your example and be kind to each other. Right? I'm going to quote one of my favorite characters in literature, and usually I memorize these things, but this is Gandalf, so that's very important to me. He said in a movie, this isn't from the book, it's from a movie, "Some believe it is only great power that can hold evil in check, but that is not what I have found. I have found it is the small every deeds of ordinary folk that keep the darkness at bay, small acts of kindness and love." Now, I hope, particularly to my students, that you feel I stood in the gap for you this year. I could promise you that the way you've handled this year, class of 2020, the courage you showed and determination, you have stood in the gap for me. And I very much appreciate that, and I wish you a lot of luck. Thank you very much.
Powerful speeches, everyone. Continuing to do what we do great at Wayne Hills here. At this time, I ask for your class president, Alana, to come forward. And again, I'll reiterate some of the things we said for our graduation virtually, but it is my privilege to present to the Board of Education and Dr. Toback the Wayne Hills High School class of 2020. I'm just realizing that this is probably when you would all be getting up right now at this moment. In doing so, I certify that students have met both the State of New Jersey and Wayne Board of Education requirements for graduation. And now Ms. Alana Margolin, Senior Class President, will announce your names of this graduating class of 2020.
Maha Shams. Lucas Badner. Gabe Kuhn. Mark Winnick. Stephen Zhang. Ryan D'Argenio. Dylan Shear. Anthony Calafiore. Bon Eric Nepomuceno. Brittany Pissarro. Emily Hughes. Brett Wood. Amanda Ferguson. Juliana Zampella. Elisa Aquino. Mia Alvarez. Justin Hacker. Afi Abragamov. Angelina Lamana. Alex Nieves. What's your name? Eddie Appel. Sydney Rodas. Maya Catrew. Ashley Pizer. Kyla Gallipoli. Justin Reicher. Colette Catrona. Patrick Orapello. Dan Park. Danny Abdu. Brooke Alexander. Ben Crusati. Kevin Duffy. Emma Hogan. Angela Raiselman. Ricky Garcia. Kaylin Hodge. Zach Yanover. Volnit Sabani. Leaf Huntington. Crystal Saba. D'Angelo Markonovic. Malvet Odatala. Justine DiNicola. Laura Lassen. Alyssa Miller. Stella Park. Sora Park. Christina Jung. Hope Lee. AJ Lucido. Delaney May. Dylan Heinold. Alessandro Juina. Nicole Collins. Jennifer Smith. Jack Woodard. Mateo Murca. Ariana Batello. Tony Montano. Jamie Tolpin. Caleb Lux Moser. Stevie Lynn Fabian. Julianne Huang. Kristen Gilmore. Alex Villarda. Christopher Alaya Bolito. I tried. Cindy Coe. Cheyenne Jebe. Jimmy He. Kira Budress. Lorelai Thompson. Logan Espardinas. James Thompson. Jessica Ainelli. Jillian Galasso. Sam Conforti. Shannon Lyons. Marco Greco. Drew DeJesus. Thomas Lucetta. Michael Joyce. John Conturso. Ethan Yupa. Josie Van Puttenvink. Jade Huh. Olivia Ramadas. Adriana Osala. Anissa Sarwar. Alexis Gill. Maya Rafai. Luca Verano. Asil DeBoer. Faye Cassis. Haley Montanero. Ashlyn Kim. Caitlin Murakami. Nick Habley. Derek Pepley. Rick Waller. Joseph Kinney. Robert Stepien. Jonah Carlton. Aaron Hook. William Busaka. David Smeriglio. Ben Dokovic. Emma Lehman. Riley Flynn. Maddie Gilman. Lexi Siegel. Abby Weltman. Sam Fasciolo. Amanda Adamo. Ella Harris. Danielle Cohen. Luca Espardinez. Chris Essig. Joseph Palathu. Mohammed Hosian. Trevor Elliott. Keith Carafiello. Aiden Stachel. Sharif Odatala. Beitan Banusi. Joseph Silva. Sean Ju. Adam Cho. Andrew Jannart. Amy Junn. Claudia Brizek. Nate Esser. Alexa Soroka. Terry Shim. Jenna Bogoslavsky. Kaylee Conroy. Anna Rose Bernardo. Lindsay Barada. Katie Ortega. Drew Techie Sawicki. Justin Horn. Kyle Conklin. Justin Vilches. Carlo Aliota. Santi Gonzalez. Jake Kozlowski. Brian Reicher. Wait, one more time. Spiridon Papaspidardos. Joey Vuktadai. Savannah Brogan. Michael Lehman. Kyle Orico. Michelle Geraldo Velez. Lisela Alvarez. Justin Blair. Christy Corlett. Damon Tavella. Robert Piper. Ian Bregman. Matt Wondolowski. Jason Pohl. OJ Thomas. Dina Faki. Emily Brown. Megan Hennessy. Sherry Goodrich. Dale Russo. Carlos Cespedes. Eugenia Guzman. Kelly Urquizo. Jovita Gopinath. Mariella Figueroa. Nancy Baquez. Muhadisa Aladina. Natalie Grossbard. Gianna Verderosa. Isaiah Almada. David Gariglia. Sarah Al-Shabani. Sheena Yoon. Carrie Shay Palmer. Charlene Frederick Muntali. Jeffrey Angelo. Joseph Romaine. Julian Isaac San Augustine. Jomar Mazouk. Yazan Sanadiki. Koshik Talam.
Alana Rachel Margolin.
Please hold tight, anyone at home watching right now. We're just going through and getting our final pictures. We'll be back with you shortly. Alana, if you could please come up to the front of the podium here. With your cap. Thank you for waiting at home patiently. Right in front. Right inside. Yes. Please stand up. Move it from your right. From right to left. Congratulations. I'd like to thank everyone for joining us and coming out today. We miss you all so much. The 100 days is over. And again, remember, our toughest obstacles become our best opportunities. It is nice to be important, but it is important to be nice. Have a good afternoon, everyone. God bless. Be well. Always forward. There is no other thing but to go forward. Kadima, everyone. Kadima.